We've looked at the art of Moberger and Kandinsky and talked about synesthesia and abstract art, so now we are making our own. Listening to fast music, we are going to use a black marking tool that's permanent to make lines and shapes inspired by the sound of the music. I have Francis Johnson playing, as well as some of his contemporaries, and just going to make marks that kind of follow the rhythm and the sound of the music. And what you make might be completely different than what I make, and that's okay. You are just being inspired by the sounds. So while we might not actually be synesthetes, we are just kind of practicing and letting the music dictate what we draw or create as best as we can interpret the sounds. So we are kind of acting as an interpreter. Find that I draw a lot to the way the rhythm moves with the ups and the downs, and with this one it's very regimented, and that's what those rectangles are to me. And you want to fill up the space, kind of even out where your marks are made so they're not all in one spot. Touching the edges of the paper. And don't worry if you're not too crazy about the design, because when you add watercolor, it really changes the way it's going to look. I like adding these little noise marks, I call them, just to add some design and noise. Little straight lines or hashtag marks. And then moving on, you're going to use watercolor to add paint in warm colors to the rhythm of the music. Warms are reds, yellows, and oranges. And try experimenting with the way you paint. Try wet on wet, blending colors, try splattering, try dripping. You'll see me play around with a few of that. And I've sped this video up here because I painted the entire class. And so the music probably sounds sped up too. But I'm just going in and adding paint, sticking with my reds, yellows, and oranges. And I do a lot of blending. I blend directly on the paper. And adding some bold colors. If I go outside of the line, I don't stress about it too much. I just make it work and blend it into something else. Trying a little bleeding there, dropping color on top of wet spots. Brown is more of a neutral, and I tend to think of it more as a warm color anyway, so I'm using a little bit of brown in here, which you are welcome to do. I like painting in large areas when I can, and then blending in other colors or adding other little details. I try to make it so two colors that are the same aren't touching, so whenever I can make that work, I try that as much as possible. Putting the loops in different colors, get some more yellow in there. Doing a little splatter. So you'll notice where the paint was still wet, the splatter bled out more, and where the paint was dry, it just stayed a nice little drip. And a few other details. All right, so next class, be prepared with another sheet as we will continue this project, but in cool colors to slow music.